Yesterday, it's about 6:30 p.m. Officers responded to the 13400 block of Ali Sheba Drive, where an 11-year-old subject had briefly interacted with a subject, a Hispanic male subject. I'll give you a further description later, and had sought help from a neighbor in the area. The subject had asked her some questions or spoken with her, and she felt uncomfortable with that. She did the right thing, the absolute right thing, which was to listen to her instincts. And so she sought out the first adult she saw. She talked to our complainant, who allowed her into the home, and then briefly spoke with the suspect and called police. I've been asked today to speak about some safety tips and to address whether we feel like these incidents are related to the other incidents in the Del Valle area. First, I'll cover some safety tips. The first thing, and the thing that both subjects did in this case, the child and as well as the adult, was they trusted their instincts. That's kind of the most important thing we feel like, is to just trust your instincts. When you see something that concerns you or something that you feel uncomfortable with, we ask that you listen to that instinct. Don't ignore it, and seek out help. Call the police, yell, contact a competent adult or a teacher or anything like that. That's important for adults and children. You can just be aware of your surroundings when you're walking from place to place, or if you're going somewhere, make sure somebody knows where you're going, what time you're expected to be there. If you have a phone, keep your phone on you, but don't be so engrossed in that phone that you're not knowing what's going on around you, which can commonly happen in our kind of technology age these days. If you can stay in a group, stay with a friend. If you're walking home from school or from a workplace, if you can go with a friend, that's helpful because you're less likely to become a victim of any type of violent crime. We'll cover the suspect description. It was in that 13400 block of Ali Sheba Drive, which is in Del Valle. About 50 or 55-year-old Hispanic male, heavier set or just a larger male, about 200 pounds is what the description we were provided. He was last seen wearing a black tank top and blue jeans. That, of course, could have changed because this has been 24 hours. Had some white Nike tennis shoes, and spoke with an accent. My complainant said a Spanish or a Hispanic accent, she said black greasy hair, and she described him as looking like a larger version of Mario from Super Mario Brothers. So we'd ask for anybody that would know somebody that matches that description or had seen that same person in that area yesterday at about 6:30 to contact the Austin Police Department's Child Abuse Unit at 512-974-6880 and give us that information so that we can continue to follow up.
Can you give us the dates of all the incidents?
I don't have those. And I'm sorry, I meant to address that, so I appreciate the question. We have been asked if these incidents are related. We don't really think so at this time. That could, of course, change. We investigate each of these incidents individually, and if something through the course of that investigation does show that things converge and there would be a matching description or it's the same suspect, we could treat them as one individual case. But for the time being, we don't believe like they're related.
Is there any plan to step up patrols in that area, since now we have 4 different cases, people reporting a suspicious person?
Officers are aware of those incidents in the area, and they do respond as time allows in their patrol duties. And the officers that responded to this, their supervisor is aware, and they can disseminate that information as needed.
So this would be the 4th case?
I don't know how many cases are that y'all are referencing. Y'all are referencing things that are related and things like that. I don't know, so I don't know how many cases.
How concerning is yesterday's incident for you?
That's a great question. As a parent and as a person, anytime that somebody is that on ease and runs away and seeks out help and whatnot, that is concerning. We have had incidents in the Austin area where people have been victims of violent crimes, and so it is concerning, and that's why we want to address those issues, and we do want the public to just be aware and to contact us anytime they're uncomfortable or anytime they feel like something is out of place or not supposed to be there. You know your community better than we can. We can't be everywhere all the time, but the public can always be out there to reach out and let us know when something's kind of amiss.
Are these cases very common? It seems like we haven't had like anything like this in the past year. And then we had those incidents up in central North Austin. Now we have just several incidents out here.
Tell me what kind of incidents you mean. I appreciate the question.
Suspicious people following children home.
We consider these type of incidents to be rare, but one is too many. Anytime any of these happen, we are concerned and we do want to address it. It's we're all very protective of our children, so. If that answers your question.
And you handle these kinds of cases regularly. They would come to your desk, right? Any idea why people would target children walking home? Is it because they're vulnerable or what?
That vulnerability in any type of child abuse case, all our victims are more vulnerable because they are younger. Children maybe aren't as apt to aren't as able to protect themselves. They're younger. They're smaller. They're not as strong. They're more prone to be influenced. So yes, child victims are always more vulnerable. So absolutely. Did you want to have a follow-up?
Did the suspect say anything to try to lure the child, or was there any physical contact, or was it just?
There was no physical contact. There was a brief conversation. We won't release anything further from that at this time, just due to our ongoing investigation, but there was words spoken.
Were they strangers? Did they not know each other?
Correct. Strangers didn't know each other.
And then can you say anything about, these incidents that we've had neighbors jump in and help these children?
Yes, great question. In this instance, we had a neighbor that was outside that saw a child that was in distress and reached out. In other instances, we've had bystanders jump in. That's 100% wonderful that people are aware and are willing to help their community contact us or intervene if necessary. We of course want people to, as much as possible, keep themselves safe. We don't want to exacerbate a situation and create two potential victims, but once again, you just have to kind of listen to your instincts and always kind of weigh the pros and cons of putting yourself in harm's way, but protecting someone like a child victim.
So you don't believe there's one suspect that's done this more than once at this time? There's just separate.
The investigation I'm in charge of and the incident that happened yesterday that I've spoken with you about today, I believe that's an isolated incident for now. Now, could other information come out to dictate otherwise? Absolutely. But for right now, I'm not considering this any type of serial incident or whatnot.
Were there any schools located nearby in the area?
There is a school nearby. I don't know the name of that school, but yes, there's a school within a mile of the incident.
All right.
Anything else?
Are you releasing how old the child was?
11 years old. 11 years old.
How do you spell your last name again?
Knouse.
How long have you been assigned to the department? Yeah.
To the police department, I've been here about 9 years.
55-year-old Hispanic man, 200 pounds about. Okay.
What was the address one more time?
The 13700 block, 13400 block of Ali Sheba Drive.
Did you think it was the suspect kind of brave doing it midday with potentially people around?
I don't know how a good way to answer that question. I certainly, I don't know about brave.
Not brave, but not really caring
Brazen.
about consequences.
Brazen or consequences.
Yeah.
Bold. Sure, it is strange. I mean, I can't get in the mind of a criminal, but if I was a bad guy, I might pick a different time and place. Broad daylight seems strange to me too.
So it was after school?
Yes, sir. About 6:30. So yes, sir. After school.
Thank you.
Good to go?
Awesome.
Sure.
Thanks very much.